Imagine this, a quiet village, nestled deep in the fertile valleys of ancient Mesopotamia. The people here live simple lives, farming, hunting, raising livestock. But today, something dark clouds the village air. In the center of the village, surrounded by anxious onlookers, a sacrifice is being prepared. A man is dragged to the altar, his fate sealed by something far more powerful than kings or priests, an unpaid debt. Why, you might ask? What could drive such drastic action? The answer lies in one of humanity's earliest attempts at survival: barter. Before there was money, before shiny coins passed through hands, there was something far simpler, and at times, far more dangerous: the barter economy. But the origin of bartering isn't just a tale of early trade. It's a story of necessity, survival, and the harsh reality of human debt. Have you ever wondered why bartering became the foundation of early economies? Why humans didn't just continue hunting and gathering in small isolated groups? Why we began to depend on each other, even for things we never realized we needed? One answer lies in the shift from nomadic life to settled agriculture. As early humans planted crops and domesticated animals, surplus grew. But with this newfound abundance came something unexpected: inequality. Some had more than they needed. Others, not enough. In ancient Sumer, the first known civilization to adopt bartering extensively, records show that some trades were about survival: grains for meat, water for pottery. But what happens when the trade isn't fair? When one person's need outweighs what they can offer in return? That's when bartering took a darker turn. In some regions, the penalty for an unpaid debt wasn't just a lost crop or a missed meal. It was your life. In ancient Mesoamerica, historians have unearthed evidence that human sacrifices were not just religious acts. They were often economic transactions, a form of payment when all else failed. Imagine owing your neighbor a goat, but instead giving them a life. But bartering wasn't always about sacrifices or drastic debts. For most early societies, it was a lifeline. When a farmer needed shoes but didn't have gold or currency, a barter was the only way to get what was needed. This farmer might offer wheat or chickens in exchange for the much-needed shoes from a local cobbler. The beauty of bartering lies in its simplicity: a direct trade, value for value. No middlemen, no inflation, no banks. But that same simplicity is also what made bartering flawed. What happens when you want shoes, but the cobbler doesn't need your wheat? This is where things got tricky. The problem of double coincidence of wants, as economists would later call it. For bartering to work, both parties had to want what the other had at the same time. Imagine trying to find someone who not only wants your grain but has exactly the thing you need in return. And yet, despite these limitations, bartering thrived across the world, from the Silk Road to Viking marketplaces. It became the foundation for trade networks that stretched across continents. In fact, some of the world's most important empires were built on the back of the barter economy. Did you know that the ancient Egyptians bartered huge stone blocks for the construction of the pyramids? Or that Roman soldiers were often paid in salt, which was a precious commodity at the time? And the origin of the word salary? Barter wasn't just survival. It became the driving force of innovation. Fast forward to today, and bartering hasn't disappeared. In fact, it's making a comeback in ways we never imagined. Farmers still trade goods at markets, communities barter services in times of need, and in the digital age, new platforms are being built to help people exchange without money. Barter started as a necessity, a way for humans to survive. But have we truly left it behind? Or are we simply dressing it up in new forms? Perhaps bartering is the most natural form of economy we've ever known. And maybe, just maybe, it's the way forward again. Sometimes, survival is just a trade away.